Yo, what's going on, man? Today is April the 14th, 2023. It's your boy Chris, and this is the ChrisBeCappinn NBA show. I'm live on Twitter right now. I'm also live on YouTube as well. I see people already in the YouTube section. Also see a lot of people joined already in the Twitter spaces as well, man. I want to start with this. I'm not feeling the greatest today, and it's not like I'm not like sick. It's just that if you've ever visited Virginia or you live in Virginia during the month of April, the allergies are at an all-time worst. I don't know if you guys can see it on the screen, but I probably sneezed 200 times today. My nose is tender. I done blew it so many times and just sniffling and got a lot of stuff going on. But we still cashing tonight. We still gonna smack the books up. That's the hope. And I'm pretty confident in it as well, man. I got a couple plays that I like, couple plays that I shared with the YouTube community section already, and I'll give those plays out to you guys today. If you guys joined yesterday, you know that I kind of talked about these games already. Kind of gave out my analysis on both sides. Got a play for both games. Didn't share the second play, but I'll share that today in the second game. And then I also got a favorite player prop that I took tonight in the first game as well. So I'll get into all of that as you guys join. If you wouldn't mind hitting the like button for me, the social appreciation to be gladly appreciated. Grateful for the community and everybody that shows support on a daily basis. So with that being said, it'll probably be a shorter show unless everybody else wants to kind of chime in and share their looks. I don't have a lot. I'm gonna get straight into it because I don't want to give you guys the entire breakdown that I gave out yesterday of both of these games. But like I said, 3 official plays for me today. Maybe 5 official plays for me today. Haven't decided whether I want to take this first quarter and first half, but really close to locking it in as well. And I'll kind of get into which game I'm talking about. So first game up, let's jump right into it. Make sure these lines haven't changed since the last time I updated these banners. The Bulls are now laying 5, all the way down to 4.5. I'm sorry, the Miami Heat are now laying 5, all the way down to 4.5 on some books as well. Yesterday, and when this line opened, it was Chicago. It was Heat -5. Now it looks like that number's come down. Like I said, it's actually a 4.5 at Heritage right now as well. Total hasn't really moved much. It opened at 209. It's down to 208.5, up to 209 on some books as well. I will say I'm not playing the total, but it's an extremely low total. If you go in and look at, I talked about this yesterday at the beginning of the show. If you go in and look at the total for this game, the Chicago Bulls, crazy enough, are projected to score 102 points tonight. That's not a lot of points. I know that the pace of these teams are slow, and we can say that the Heat are good defensive teams, even though the numbers for the second half of the season would kind of indicate otherwise. I actually think that that's a good bet. A pivot towards, if you don't want to touch the spread in this game, I do think that pivoting towards the Bulls to go over their team total of 101.5 points is actually a solid bet. The Heat defense don't scare me at all. It doesn't scare me at all. Will they, can they come out and lock in this game? Yes, but I think if they do and they're hitting shots, they still give up points because I feel like the Bulls will still be able to score in this game. That's just what I wanted to say off the top. Yesterday, I gave a breakdown of this game. I talked about, the reasons why I like why I like Chicago Bulls plus the 5.5. And I said that I was going to sleep on it. And I slept on it and gave the play out earlier today to my YouTube ChrisBeCappinn community tier support. So only I think a lot of people are getting a tad bit confused. If you join as a supporter member for $2.99 a month, you don't get access to the plays first. If you join as a ChrisBeCappinn community member on that tier, you do get access to the plays. As soon as I place my bets, I'll put them in there and share them with you guys as well. Sometimes it'll be with my analysis. Sometimes it won't be with any analysis. I'll go back and add the analysis later. But I just wanted to kind of share that with you guys because I think some people are like, Chris, I'm not seeing the plays. If you're not seeing the plays, it's probably because you didn't sign up at the $5.99 per month membership to actually see the plays. So let's get into the game. So I talked about this, and I'll just kind of go over just a few of these already. I think the Heat season comes to an end tonight. I didn't play the money line. I'm not giving the money line out as a as a best bet at all. I'm not as a best bet, but as an official play. But I think that the Heat are laying too many points here as home favorites. They haven't been good in this spot all season. Um, they rank 26, and I talked about this yesterday. They it's hard for them to score the ball, right? Like if they're not hitting wide open 3-pointers off, passes from Jimmy Butler and Bam Adebayo and Tyler Hero, then this team is really a lost cause out there, and they really struggle to find their offense and struggle to score the ball for huge chunks throughout the game, throughout periods of the game as well. Post All-Star break, they are 26th in second chance points, 27th in fast break points, third in fewest points scored in the paint. Like I said, they just chuck up a lot of 3-pointers most of the time. In the top 5 in fewest second chance points allowed. So they're doing a good job of that. But they're also 26th in opponent effective field goal percentage. So they're not doing the greatest job on the defensive end, which is why I said if you want to stay away from the spread, then taking the Bulls team total to go over 101.5, I think is a solid bet, although I did not play that in all transparency. On the opposite side, the Bulls, we saw them go down big again against the Toronto Raptors. They fought back hard in that game and not just came back and covered the spread, but they did win that game to keep their season alive. The only disadvantage I see in this game for the Bulls is that they are the less rested team, and you do expend a lot of energy when you have to come from behind, right? Like it takes a lot out of you, and you had to travel from Toronto to Chicago with only a day's rest. So I understand from that perspective. But you look at this Bulls team, we've been talking about it, for a large part of the second half of the team. They are the best defensive rated team in the second half of the season. They allowed at least amount of points in the paint per game at 42.5. They give up the second fewest points off turnovers. They're top 5 in fewest second chance points allowed. Allowed the second fewest fast break points. And they're the third best net rating team and third best defensive rating. Third best net rating team post All-Star break. And they're the third best record overall post All-Star break. So I just think you're getting the hotter team right now of the two. And that's why I took the points with the Bulls in this one. Bulls plus 5.5 is the official play for me. Like I said, the line is moving. Last thing I'll say on this game real quick, I talked about this yesterday, looking at it from a big analytical perspective, because if the analytics make sense and it matches the eye test, then I'm going to use that as support for my argument. But if it doesn't, I'll kind of stay off, right? So I talked about this yesterday, and I'll just read what I got in my notes. What I wrote down is that I feel like with all the chips kind of pushed in the middle of the table, Spoelstra will go with what I think is the best lineup for big stretches of the game. And 608 possessions throughout the season with Jimmy Butler, Bam Adebayo, Kyle Lowry, Caleb Martin, who I think will be in a lot today, and Tyler Hero on the floor. The Heat are plus 5.2 points per 100 possessions. They're averaging 112.5 points per 100 possessions in that spot, and they're allowing 107.3. So that's, if they're clicking on all cylinders, guys are hitting their shots, which that's the only way I can see the Heat kind of winning this game and covering the spread is if they get hot from three and the Bulls, just kind of let their guard down from the 3-point line. Like I said, the Heat are already the Bulls are allowed the fewest points allowed in the paint. So if they can somehow, guard the 3-point line, I think they'll be successful in this game. On the opposite side, in their elimination game versus the Raptors, Coach Billy Donovan of the Chicago Bulls played what I think is his 4 core players in big minutes as well. And those 4 guys were Levine, DeRozan, Vucevic, and Caruso, right? And I talked about this yesterday. The Bulls are plus 8 in points per 100 possessions at the worst, with the combination of those 4 guys on the floor throughout the entirety of the season, with the minimum of 116 possessions in a game. The other players that you factor in as the 5th player of that kind of 4-man rotation that I just kind of talked to you guys about as the core in these lineups do vary, with it being either Patrick Beverley, they're plus 13.7, Patrick Williams, they're plus 8, Ayo DeSumo plus 9.7, and then Kobe White last but not least at a 24.2. So for all those reasons, I did take the Heat. I did take the Bulls plus the 5.5. Like I said, I didn't play the money line. I didn't even put a sprinkle on the money line, but I do feel like they probably win this game, and the Heat season ends tonight. So that's how I'm kind of looking at the first game. As far as player prop in the first game, I will be putting the analysis for this one in the YouTube section for the people who can't join the show. for in the YouTube ChrisBeCappinn community section. But I'm looking at Vucevic. We just played his rebounds over, I think it was 10.5 in the last game against Toronto. If you cash with me, that was a non-sweat bet. He got that, I think, early in the fourth quarter, and then picked up a few more as well. I think he finished with maybe 13 rebounds, 12 or 13 rebounds. And a lot of the analysis is the same, right? It's a team that they're facing the team. First of all, it's a must-win, a must-win game. I talked about Vucevic being 8th in the league. In the last game, he finished the season 8th in the league in rebounder, right at 10.5 per game. And it's a do or die spot, right? So I expect them to kind of leave it all out there. Vucevic did post double-digit rebounds in 13 of his last 16 games against the Heat, averaging 11.8. That dates all the way back to 2019-2020 season. That also includes 11 of his 13 games in which he played against Bam, averaging just under 12 rebounds a game in that spot. This season, he's posted games of 17, 12, and 10 rebounds. And I expect him just to go out there and do it all over again. The Heat are a team that's going to launch a lot of three-pointers. I expect them to miss. And last but not least, Clint Capella did just have 20-plus rebounds against this team. So I did play Vucevic over his 10.5 rebounds. Potential ladder spot if you guys are into laddering props, rebound props. I didn't ladder it yet, but there's potential that I will. But I do think Vucevic comes down with at least 11 rebounds in this game tonight. So I did play Vucevic to go over his 10.5 rebounds. I also played the Chicago Bulls plus 5.5 as my two favorite plays in this game. Transitioning on along. And let me just check the comment section. If you guys join late, do me a favor and hit the like button for me. And shout out to the chat as well. Sean McIntyre, always in here with the positive vibes. I know you also joined on YouTube as well, and you asked a good follow-up question earlier, Sean. So I appreciate you for keeping me on my P's and Q's and making sure that I'm giving out my unit size. If I give out a play, it's always going to be a 1-unit play, unless I indicate otherwise. But I'm glad that you asked that, Sean, because that's a really good question. Sometimes I will go a little bit lighter on player props, but both of the plays that I played earlier today are 1-unit plays. Chicago Bulls plus 5.5 and Vucevic over his 10.5 rebounds. Minus 113 when I got it earlier. I did take it on FanDuel because they had the best odds for it at the time. Not sure what that looks like now. Abacot said Giddey assists, Jonas rebounds, and Vucevic rebounds all cashed last time. Okay, well I hope you. I'm glad you cashed those, Abacot. He says now he has Vucevic over 10.5 rebounds. We're aligned there. I hope he definitely gets there so we can feast there. Sean says so did Vucevic assists. I think Sean likes Vucevic assists. I think it was at 2.5. I couldn't really talk you off. He should have had a ball in his hand. The third highest usage on the team tonight behind DeRozan and Zach LaVine. So I couldn't talk you off. Easy Money said going light on the plays. Playoffs going to last a long time. Less cash, fellas. Absolutely. And ladies. I like that, Ali. Make sure you keep them in check, Ali, in the chat. I appreciate you. Always appreciate Ali coming through. 3 times says he lives in Virginia too. Yeah, if you're in Virginia, man, you know how bad the allergies are, man. I am over here dying. I almost canceled the show, but I get too excited about NBA basketball and bringing this information to you guys. All my research. So Alex said he's in Fredericksburg. You're not too far away from me, Alex. We're about an hour away from each other, my guy. What's up, Fremont? Appreciate you. He said we howling with the Wolves tonight. Absolutely. I'm about to get in that game in a second. Easy Money said Bam 3 assists, minus 168. I locked in 4 assists at plus 145, small unit size. Okay. Best of luck. I hope you cash it. Appreciate you for joining the chat, Captain Zach, as always. Fremont said OKC getting sent back home. Called them chumps. What's up to my guy Courtney in the chat? I appreciate you being here and tuning into the show, my brother. Franklin said Heat will try to come out fast. Don't think they got enough. Yeah, if anybody watched the Heat play, not just for the playing game, but last year, throughout the entirety of the season, because there's so much to do in Miami, nobody gets to the game on time. They don't show up until right before halftime, after halftime. Sometimes it's really hard to get up for a game. If you guys have ever played in a basketball game, it's really, I know I struggled even in high school, like playing in empty arenas, right? Like where are all your fans? I went to a high school that was always full of fans, and when we went on the road, it was really hard for me to get up. So I can only imagine how hard it is for these NBA players to get up. Granted, they're professionals and they've been in these situations before, but that can kind of come into factor. The Bulls have not been starting games out fast, though. I will say that as well. Jeffrey said he likes Vucevic rebounds over 10.5. Like I said, I love that play as well. Alex says, love the show, Chris. Happy to support and cash with you. Let's get it. I appreciate that. Alex, grateful for people like you. Absolutely. Always will be. Thank you. Tony says, what happened to Duncan Robinson? Duncan Robinson doesn't play any defense, so he can't be a part of Eric Spoelstra's, core group, in my estimation, Tony. I think the same thing happened with Kevin Love. Kevin Love played 3 minutes in the last game, and if you're not going to be able to be out there to defend at a high level, then you won't be able to get minutes under, a Pat Riley and Eric Spoelstra-led team, in my estimation. So I think Duncan Robinson got played out because he's a one-trick pony. If his shot's going in, he can kill you. If he's not, then he's a liability on the defensive end, and he brings nothing else on the offensive end. That's how I assess Duncan Robinson. Jeffrey said, got his bag and chilling on the pond. Jeffrey also says Heat first quarter, first half for me. Okay. Coop says Caruso and Jimmy 2 steals plus 323. Real quick, while we're talking about Jimmy, I don't know if anybody see this, but I talked about it yesterday. Jimmy was not a part. He did not take part in practice yesterday. He missed it due to personal reasons. I've been checking throughout the day at the different beat reporters for the Miami Heat, trying to figure out, what's going on, if we can get any kind of information disclosed. I haven't been able to see anything. If anybody saw anything about Jimmy and you have a source for it, because I can't just believe what I read, but if you have a source for it, please let me know. I've been trying to figure out what's going on with Jimmy all day. He's a game time decision today. I do expect him to play with their season on the line, but I would love to know more about Jimmy. It's one of the reasons why I didn't bet on his points, rebounds, and assists, because I feel like in the most meaningful game of the season, you would want to be a part of that practice before, especially when you're the leader of the bunch, right? So, I didn't play any Jimmy props at all, just because I would love to know what's going on, but I couldn't talk you off, Coop. Jimmy 2 assists plus Caruso 2. Jimmy 2 steals with Caruso 2 steals is plus 323 in a make or break, do or die type game. Could not talk you off, Coop. Allergies killing me, man. Tariq says, what's up, Chris? VA here as well. Let's go Bulls. Yeah, let's go Bulls tonight, man. Jeffrey says Wolves trifecta, and that's what like I said, I want to get back into it. Definitely want to get back into it. Sid says, what's up with Anthony Edwards' shoulder? I think he's not playing at 100%. Sid, he'll never tell us though. If anybody had a chance to check out the post practice shoot around yesterday, I did watch it in its entirety with Anthony Edwards. It was about 4 minutes long. And he was just saying that, he's not going to make any excuses. I mean, he didn't even really give the reporters a chance to give him a rebuttal at all. So I don't think that Anthony Edwards is 100%, but I think he's going to go out there and leave everything that he has on the floor. He credited the Lakers defense for double teaming them and flopping throughout the game as for why he wasn't as aggressive as he should have been in the second half in that game. Whereas I felt like he wasn't, aggressive because he might have been hurt. So hopefully I'm wrong, because I did play the Timberwolves. I laid the 4.5 and the 5 points is the play that I gave out yesterday. And like I said, I'm gonna jump into that real soon. Sir Goat said he has Bulls 1-10 win margin. Small sprinkle for him. And 3 times says would be nice if Jimmy came back to Philly for Tobias. I guarantee you it would be if you're a Philadelphia 76er fan. Aaron Winderman said he wasn't at shoot around, but will play. Okay, yeah. That's interesting to me. I know he's one of their beat reporters down in Miami, so I'll check that out for sure. I'll check that out. I didn't see that. I even listened to the podcast earlier today. The Miami Heat they did a podcast earlier, a couple of reporters, and I still couldn't find. They still didn't even mention Jimmy. So not 100% sure. Patrick says Cat Day, Cat 25, Bam 20. Put up your 4 picks in the ticker, Chris. I will put my picks up in the ticker in a second, Patrick, after I break down this game and kind of open it up to everybody else to share. Let's see. Jeffrey says says we will be the team tonight, whatever that means. And that's what Jeffrey says. And then Coop says, any word on Lowry and Martin starting for tonight? I think do or die game. They probably start both of those guys. Coop, in my estimation, I think unless you want to bring one of them off the bench, I think you start both of them. I think you start Kyle Lowry, Caleb Martin, Jimmy Butler, Bam Adebayo, and Tyler Hero. That's the way I think that Spoelstra should probably try to play it. Unless you start Strus and keep Gabe Vincent off the bench. But remember, Coach Spoelstra did say the other day that he was going to shake up the rotations. Not a direct quote, but something along those lines. And Patrick says 111 watching, 35 likes. Y'all hit the like button for me. Be greatly appreciated. And let's jump into it. Let's jump back into the second game before I open it up to anybody else who got plays that they want to share. So I need to check the line real quick just to make sure it hasn't changed. And has not changed. So it is down to 5 on some books. I see a 5 on DraftKings. I see a 5.5 pretty much everywhere else. Looking at the Wager Talk live screen. Total in this one looks like it's creeping back up. It was at 228.5. I saw it, I think, go down all the way to 227.5. It is back up now to 229, 228.5. So some money coming back in on the over, getting a little bit of buyback. So about right about where it kind of opened at. It hadn't dropped, but maybe a point. And now it looks like it's back up to open, maybe over by half a point. So this is a very, very interesting game, man. And I feel confident in my pick in this game. I am one of the Timberwolves, but the Thunder are a really, really good team. They move the ball well. They play within themselves. It seems like even though they are so young, they never let the moment become too big for them. And I think we saw it in the Pelicans game. We saw it in games that they should have lost throughout the entirety of the season. This team is 21-11, 21-11-1 against the spread as a road dog. I talked about how good that record was. I think that's the third best record, but by far the biggest amount of games. They continue to get disrespected by the market throughout the entirety of the season. And like I said, it's their ability to score. They're 20-13 to the over in those games. So even while they give up points, they still score more than they're projected to in a lot of those games. I won't give you guys like the complete breakdown and share all the notes that I did yesterday because that's already posted on YouTube. And if you guys want the complete analysis, just go back in and watch the video from yesterday. But what I will tell you guys is what I believe in my heart of hearts is that the Timberwolves are elite defensively. And when I say elite defensively, I mean I think this is one of the 5 best defenses in the league. I've been kind of harping on them the last few weeks. I know that they, kind of dropped the ball in the second half against the Lakers, specifically in the fourth quarter, where they were outscored. I think it was 29-16, the fourth quarter overtime. But you see the lack of ball movement. You see this team jump out on their opponent pretty quickly, right? Not just in the Laker game. I think I read something. I didn't jot it down, but I want to say the Timberwolves have blown more fourth quarter leads, the Timberwolves have blown more 10-point leads than any team in the NBA outside of, I can't remember who the other team is, but there's only one other team in the NBA that's blown more double-digit leads throughout this season in the NBA. So I think that you see a level of, concentration, determination, so that they can actually maintain. And I did lay the 5.5. I did not lay the 5.5. I laid the 4.5. I gave it out in the YouTube ChrisBeCappinn community support tier earlier. I gave it out yesterday. I played it at 4.5. I also played it at 5. I didn't touch 5.5. So I'm not endorsing this because the Thunder are a really good team at covering spreads. Like I said, 21-11-1 as a road dog. They just went into New Orleans and won that game outright. But I think New Orleans was a tad bit fraudulent. We talked about the Pelicans just being, I thought that they would bring it on the defensive end. Didn't really trust their offense. They didn't do that either. I guess you could kind of say that they did, but they still end up allowing this team to go like 10 points over their team total. And I was on the Thunder team total to go under in the last game. But I, like I said, quite simply put, I just feel like the Timberwolves win this game with their defense. And that's also how they almost won the game in the last game against the Lakers with AD, overmatched all the way around the board. I think they almost won that game with their defense. I think we see in a do-or-die game and a must-win game today, I think they bring it on the defensive end. I talked about this yesterday, and I'll just kind of go over this number real quick, and then I'll I'm not playing any player props. If I add anything, it's going to be the first quarter and the first half for the Timberwolves as well. Just because, like I said, they jump out to these big leads, but then they kind of give them up as the game goes throughout. And if you lay 4.5, 5 with the Timberwolves in this spot, you do need them to win the game by 2 possessions. So they can't be up by 3 or 2, and the Thunder got the ball with a chance to win, because in that case, you're not going to get the cover, right? So I do think that's going to happen. But I do also think that the Timberwolves come out and punch first in this game. I know that the Thunder went down. If you guys watched the Pelicans game, they went down in the first quarter, 10-19, and then stormed back and won the first quarter. I don't think that the Timberwolves let up defensively. I know that there's some injury implications with Karl-Anthony Towns. I'm not sure 100% if he's going to play in this game. And like I said yesterday, I honestly don't care. I know he's been struggling with back spasms. To me, he's not that big of a piece. I don't feel like if they don't have him, they can't win this game. Now, his size can create some problems for the Thunder, but the Thunder have been the undersized, undermatched team all, through the entirety of the season. Kendrick Williams will play at 5, and he's 6'9" at best, probably 6'8", 6'8.5" at best. And they just do a good job of, getting in good position to get rebounds. So not having Rudy Gobert doesn't really scare me. If they have him, I think that works out well also. And if he's not playing well, I think Finch probably pulls him out also, and they just run the lineup that they've been successful with Karl-Anthony Towns at the 5, and you throw slow-mo back in at the 4, let Anthony Edwards play the 3, and you slide Taurean Prince in at the 2, and let Mike Conley play the 1. It's how I see this game kind of happening. You also have Nickeil Alexander-Walker off the bench going against his cousin, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Jordan McLaughlin played terrible in that last game. I think he had a couple turnovers, no assists, and missed the only couple shots that he took. So I don't necessarily want him in the game, but everybody else I think I'm fine with. Of course, Naz Reid won't be able to participate in this game, and Jalen McDaniels won't be a part of this game either, because he punches walls and breaks his hand as the play-in starts. So the numbers that I wanted to read off real quick, and this kind of goes back to how elite I said this defense was just a small sample size, because Cat has been injured throughout the season. Rudy Gobert has also been injured throughout the season. Mike Conley kind of just got there in the trade. But in 45 possessions this season with Conley, Anthony Edwards, Karl-Anthony Towns, Rudy Gobert, and slow-mo in, with those 5 on the floor, this team is a plus 11.3 this season. And that ranks in the 99th percentile out of course, 100. And they're only allowing 104.3 points 100 per possessions as well. They're holding their opponents to 48.8% as an effective field goal percentage. They've also limited their opponent to just 20% offensive rebounding rate, which is also in the 99th percentile. And we know that the Thunder don't get rebounds already. And the last thing I'll say is I do expect, with on the table, I do expect Chris Finch to go to this lineup and use it throughout, a large part of this game, because I think it's been one of their most efficient lineups throughout the season. So I do anticipate the Timberwolves to win this game by, 6-7 points. But we've seen the Thunder be extremely feisty throughout the entirety of the season. And that's just the way I kind of look at it. I also lean towards the under, even though the Thunder typically play at a fast pace. I talked about this earlier as well. Yesterday, the Timberwolves did finish the season series did go 3-1 to the under. I think the Timberwolves have enough to kind of stay in front of these guys, not let Giddey and SGA get to their spots. SGA does have a very, very good track record, specifically throughout this season against this team. But I feel like his points prop is still a tad bit too high in a super meaningful game. I do expect him to shoot the ball a lot, but I would not be playing his points prop over. I think that OKC, I think that the Thunder have, I think that the Timberwolves have, elite, guards that can kind of stay in front of him. So will he get his? Yes. Will he get 32 and a half, 33 and a half, whatever that number is? I'm not 100% sure, man. I think other guys will have to step up, and I don't expect them to do so. And then last but not least, I did have another player prop. Didn't lock this one in, but I thought about it on the way, actually, when I was coming home earlier. And that was Mr. Dort again, right? Similar situation. Last game he had to guard Brandon Ingram for the entirety of the game. I talked about his, my best player prop being Lou Dort under the 5.5 rebounds. Today, that number is back at 5.5 again. You get Dort in a very similar situation. He's going to be on Anthony Edwards throughout the entirety of this game. And so I went back and, did some digging. It looks like in 9 career games, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm sorry. In 8 career games versus the Timberwolves, he's only had 6 rebounds or more 2 times. So he's 6-2 to going under this 5.5 throughout this season specifically. He is 0-3. So 3-0 to the number. Most rebounds he's gotten this season against this team is 4. So 1 rebound, 4 rebounds, and 3 rebounds. Haven't locked that in yet, but if I had a player prop, I'd probably just go back to Dort going under his rebounds because I do expect him to spend a lot of his time on Anthony Edwards tonight. And like I talked about in the last game, in the last show, when I took his rebounds to go under against the Pelicans, when you're, the primary defender on the other team's primary ball handler and primary shot maker and creator, it's really hard for you to play elite level defense and go get the rebound. So you're relying on others to kind of go get the rebound. So it's just a lean for me right now. I haven't placed it yet, but if I do place it, I will post that in the chat as well. And that's what I got for you guys. Still talk for 30 minutes, 133 people watching on YouTube, 260 almost on Twitter as well. If you guys could do me a favor and hit the like button for me on the tweet, retweet the tweet, hit the like button on the show. If you guys are watching on YouTube, leave your best bet as well. And if you guys have anything that you want to contribute, send me a request. I got a lot of them that I'm going to try to get to as many as possible. And then I'm going to get off here, find me some dinner, go take a shower, and get ready for these games, man. Hopefully I don't fall asleep because I feel terrible. Let's see. Before I get to the YouTube, and I'll go ahead and get people up. I got Fred coming up. I got LJ coming up. I got Cam coming up. And we'll start there. And but before I get to that, let me go back in. Let's see. Courtney Clark says Lou Dort over 1.5 assists is a plus 125 on BetMGM and under 5.5 rebounds. So Courtney's already thinking about the Dort under 5.5 rebounds. I'm not sure about his assists. I don't never really see him get assists. Ali says yes. I think Rudy does. I think Rudy does probably play. I think is what she meant. Coop says I love slow-mo stocks. He averages 4 stocks. If you guys don't know what stocks are, that's blocks plus steals. If your books offer the combination of you being able to put both of those together and take the steals plus blocks against the Timberwolves, with the season on the line, Timberwolves need his defense. I would absolutely agree in that one, Coop. I think the Timberwolves leave everything that they have on the table tonight. You take them tonight, and you probably fade them in the first game against the Denver Nuggets because they should be extremely tired depending on how much effort they put into this game. They only have one day off, and they'll play again on Sunday against the Denver Nuggets. If they win this game, they will be traveling to Denver, a team that they've actually matched up well against, but they won't have much time to kind of plan and prepare for it. So I couldn't talk you off, Coop. I do like slow-mo stocks. Also like Anthony Edwards stocks, if you guys can find that number as well. This guy, I've been talking about him a lot, man. He is elite defensively. Anthony Edwards has the potential to be I think a first team all defensive type player. The way he moves his body laterally to stay in front of defenders, to stay in front of guys on offense, he has this innate ability to just he can stay in front of pretty much anybody. Like, and it almost seems like it's effortless. It brings me back to like Kawhi when he was extremely elite defensively. This might ruffle some feathers, but for my old heads, but it also makes me think about Jordan a little bit, the way Jordan used to play defense and kind of stay in front of his guy. So I'll just add that I'm very high on Anthony Edwards. I'll say that for his career, I'm very high on Anthony Edwards. He's really short. He's putting that ability in. You can tell he wants to be great. I like it a lot. I like it. Let's see. Patrick said he thinks the game goes over to 27. Not a real strong play for the total for me. Let's see. Daly says underdogs have covered in every single play-in over the last 2 seasons. The under is 8-1 in the play-ins, and it's 11-4 overall since the inception of the play-in tournament. These are all correct stats, I want to say. I did look into those as well, Uncut. He says, I think that could change today, but wanted to put that out there. I agree. I also thought that the Thunder were gonna go go under their team total, and the only game that went over, and because they went over on their team total, that game went over as well. So trends are not always going to hit 100% of the time, but I appreciate you sharing that, Uncut. Coop says OKC will be the cover machine. OKC will be the cover machine. I don't know if they went out right. Yeah, I don't think they cover in this one. I'm taking them not to cover in this one. Uncut said, I think the game comes down to what the league wants. Timberwolves should win this, and if they do, I think they beat the Nuggets. If the league wants Nuggets to go deep, give them the Thunder. That's interesting. 780 Guap says Jalen Williams over 5.5 rebounds, -134. He's also on the Arizona Diamondbacks money line +153. I saw some sharps as well on the Diamondbacks today. I don't even know who they have on the mound, but if it's my guy Gallen, if it's Zach the Mac Gallen, I do like it a lot. He's also on the Nationals run line +1.5. The Nationals are playing the Guardians today with who do they have on the mound? The Guardians don't have their best pitcher on the mound today. I forgot who it was. I looked at it earlier. Jeffrey says he liked Rudy Gobert over 12.5 rebounds. I couldn't talk you off. Let's see. Let me get through these real quick. Giddy rebounds and assists over. Can also not talk you off of that. He missed a triple-double by, I think, 1 rebound in the last game or 1 assist or something. It was a massive triple-double, too. Giddy, I think, is still being undervalued, but I do think they have the defenders to slow Giddy down today. We'll see how it goes. Dort killed me on the under points. Yeah, Dort was out there looking like a flamethrower, looking like Steph Curry from the three-point line the other night. Glad I stayed off the points plus rebounds and just took the rebounds. Sid says if Edwards is not 100%, Dort going to have him in hell. I think they can. I think so. I'll add this real quick. Coach Chris Finch said yesterday that they'll play through their strengths, right? What that tells me is that the ball will be in Karl-Anthony Towns' hands a lot because he has the mismatch advantage, right? If you guys watched the game, you saw what Karl-Anthony Towns was doing to Anthony Davis, who's top 5, center defender in the NBA. I think, that's probably not arguable. So if he can do that to them, I think that they do play through Cat. I probably look at Cat, assists, honestly, probably as a pivot, but not anything that I played. Appreciate you, Sid. Your hat's in the mail, bro. I appreciate you purchasing a hat as well, my guy. Put that in the mail for you earlier. Let's see. A lot of people on Anthony Edwards steals plus blocks is 2.5. It looks like Coop said he sees it, and 780 Guap says he sees it on BetMGM at +100. I like that look a lot. Something that he could have 3 of even. He could have 3 blocks or 3 steals. So I like the combination of being able to combine those together. If you guys have BetMGM, I don't think that Anthony Edwards goes 0 for 9 again. Hustle. Tyler Hero under 3.5 assists. All right, let me see. Clippers series. All right, cool. Edwards a monster when healthy. Yeah. Madison Bumgarner is on the mound for the Diamondbacks. Bumgarner, exactly. Yeah, can't do it. Can't do it with Madison Bumgarner. That's not my guy at all. I'm a little bit new. What does stocks mean? So Michael, stocks mean steals plus blocks. All books don't offer it, but it's under the player prop market. If you do have it on the sports book that you're wagering on. Madison Bumgarner versus Cal Quantrill. Cal has been good though. I need to look at his numbers specifically against the Nationals. The Nationals are terrible. I know that they got a big win the other day, but that's just the way baseball works. I would be looking at. I can't get there with Bumgarner, but Kyle is good. All right, cool. Let me get to some of the people I got in the chat, man. People been waiting for a while. Y'all going crazy in the chat. I appreciate everybody. Like I said, hit the like button for me if you guys can. I'm going to create the banner now with my official play, so you guys are watching on YouTube. You guys will be able to see it. And send me a request if you guys got anything. I want to start with LJ because I know he requested first, and he's been in here the longest waiting. So LJ, I want to kick it to you first, and then Cam, and then Frag, and then Dream. I think we'll go in that order. LJ, what's going on, my guy? Live from H-Town. What's up? LJ said, Chris, you took too long. I fell asleep.
Hey, Chris.
Oh, there you go.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, you good. What's going on, LJ? How you doing, bro?
What's up, Chris? My guy, what's going on this Cash It Friday, sir?
Hey, let's do it. That's what I'm trying to do, LJ. I'm trying to cash it, man. What we liking today, man?
Well, look, we gonna cash tonight. It's plain and simple. Bulls plus the 5.5. Might as well sprinkle the money line as well. Miami does not play well at home, as you know, and I don't see how they're favored. Now, the first quarter, I'm leaning towards the over. Can you give me that number right now? Because I can't get on right now.
Yeah, I want to say it's 50 and a half. I want to say, LJ, it's a extremely low number. Hold on. Let me. I want to. Yeah, I want. Hold on. Let me make sure. It's 51 and a half, LJ.
Wow.
It's that low.
No,
Yeah, it's that low.
That's going over.
Yeah. Yeah, it's extremely low.
Over first quarter.
Because they get undervalued on the market. So I agree with you there. Okay.
Yeah. I'm leaning towards that. I haven't made that bet yet, but I'm leaning towards that. But I have took the Bulls full game, 5.5.
We together there. We definitely together there.
I don't see how Miami's going to score, man. They can't score in the paint. Like you just mentioned, they rely on outside shooting, and if they're not hitting it, they're just not effective. And the turnovers, Chris, they're averaging 25 points off turnovers in the 3 games. Well, the 4 games. Well, no, 3 games that they played. The Heat, the Bulls this year. You know what I'm saying? So they're going to turn the ball over. The Bulls create steals. They're averaging 10 steals in the 3 games that they played the Heat this year. So I see on-ball defending. I see Caruso getting 2 steals. I took that prop. He cashed the last game, so I'm going to take it again. And I'm going to take a sneaky prop today. Off the bench, Kobe White, Chris, over 9.5 points. I think that's a steal because he's averaged 14 off the bench in the 3 games that he played Miami this year. And I'm going to take the over 1.5 3-pointers because he averaged 3 made against the Heat this season, and he gets the attempts when he comes off that bench. I see he puts up like 8, 7. You know, he gets the attempts from that 3-point line. So Kobe White over 1.5 threes and his points over 9.5 is what I took on the prop. And I took Caruso's 2+ steals as well. And I'm on the Bulls plus 5.5. And of course, I'm going to sprinkle the money line as well. Now, the next game. I don't know about this game, but my best bet is the Minnesota first half minus the 3. I do believe if it's still at that number. That's what I took it earlier. I don't know if it's still there, but first half minus 3 because Minnesota is 13-4 against the spread in the first half in their last 17 games. They have a plus 5 point differential in the first half their last 3 games. And we all saw that they were plus 11 in the first half the last game versus the Lakers. Now, they could trick it off at the end because, like you say, they do give up the lead a lot. And I'm not going to trust them full game to cover it, but they should win the game, but they may not cover. But let's get the money early. Minnesota, minus 3, first half, easy money. And the prop I'm going to take, I'm getting back on Josh Giddey, man. Over PRA. I don't know what it is, but he's averaged 29 PRA versus the Minnesota this year. And this is a division game. You see what I'm saying? So these teams know each other. So I feel Giddey is going to keep his average of 14, 10, and 5 against this team on the season, and he's going to cash his PRA again. Because, like I said, I can't take full game, Chris. Both these teams create a lot of turnovers, you know, that sloppy with the ball. So we don't know who's going to be effective. You know, we don't know who's going to be able to score. You know, OKC can't rebound. The Wolves should have a good game, but, you know, it's up in the air. But let's just take the Wolves first half minus the 3. That's my place.
Love them, LJ, and I think I hadn't had time to jump into that, LJ. My brain tells me that when I watch the Timberwolves, they get out the big leads, and I watch them kind of just their offense gets stagnant. I think if anybody stayed up and watched that Laker game, they just stopped moving the ball. It's almost like they go away from what works in the in the first half, and I'm not sure if that's because they get fatigue starts to set in or what the case might be, but. I think the same thing we saw with the Pelicans in the first game, right? Valanciunas was killing, had a double-double pretty much in the first quarter, and then they go away from him, and he doesn't even. I don't think he scored in the fourth quarter at all. So, I like that, LJ, and I think I'm gonna get there with you. I think I'm gonna also add the first quarter as well. I think it's a Timberwolves trifecta spot. Like I said, I just haven't gotten there yet, but I do like the Timberwolves, and I'm definitely playing the first half with you, LJ. I like that a lot.
Yeah, the first half I trust more because OKC, they have a minus point differential in the first half on the season. So I'm going to trust that because they could win that first quarter, even though they don't trend to it as much.
Right.
But we see how they came back in that first quarter versus the Pelicans the last game. So I'm going to trust that Minnesota take care of business in the first half like they've been doing all season. And we'll see how the game goes in the second half.
Yeah, LJ. We cashing tonight, LJ. I like these looks. I like these looks a lot. And anybody who was looking for a Giddy PRA, looks like it's 35 and a half juice to the over at minus 127.
Mm-hmm.
For anybody that's interested in that as well.
Yeah. All right, Chris.
Hey, best of luck tonight, LJ. Let's cash, man.
For sure.
Get to the cash tonight. Okay, cool. Canadian Kim, you are up next, my brother. Then Frag, and then I'm kicking it to Dream. What up, Kim?
What's good, homie? You good?
Yeah, I'm good, man. Like I said, allergies kicking my butt down here in Virginia, but it's all good, man. If I cash, I'm gonna feel a lot better tonight, Kim.
You triggered me a bit with that MJ comparison.
I figured I'd do that to somebody.
Relax, I'm big on edge. Hold on. We had a good first plan. I mean, the Raptors suck, but I was playing so. And I'm gonna be straight with you. I'm rooting for both the Chicago Bulls and OKC because that just helps our lottery a lot. So if both those teams win, we move up in the lottery. So I'll take that. Anyway, on the play. So I'm actually on Rudy. His rebound. I know. So when I bet it, I didn't do my homework, didn't see that he had this whole back spasm thing. But truth be told, in my opinion, it's like if he can't go, he won't play. After you get called a bitch by your teammates, you throw that little punch, and you got people talking, all that. I just don't see a world where you don't come out and try and insert yourself and actually show out and do what you got to do, unless you are truly hurt. And that's a different conversation. But if he's playing in that, I think he actually plays. So just to back up the numbers, I took his rebounds at over 13 and a half. And the number I got it at was plus 114 or 13. 7 of his last 10 against OKC, he's gone over that. And pretty much well over it. It's like 15, 16, 17, 17, 21, 18, 17, 14. The other times it was like 10, 7, and 7. So we also, another big important fact that people need to know about OKC, which I think we all should know, is they are bottom in the league in rebounding. And rebounds a lot. They allow 4.9 boards a game, 51 in the last 3, and 56.7 on the road. So who really rebounds for them if you think about it? Like the light-skinned Jalen is the biggest guy. Dort kind of gets in there. They don't have rebounders. Now, if you want to pivot and go with Cat, go ahead. But if Rudy actually played, it does hurt Cat's rebounding numbers. And like you said, I think he turns into more of an offensive threat. He will step outside, pull guys outside. So I was like, I could go with Cat, but I think if Rudy plays, he gets there quite easily. And if he doesn't, then I'm going to just lock in Cat instantly. So I'm watching that just to make sure Cat plays. And if he doesn't, I will get Cat at the same. I'll take Cat at 14, 12. Probably wherever the best line is. So that's my first one. Rudy Gobert over 13 and a half. I also took Josh Giddey at 8+ assists. He's going to play 40 minutes or so tonight. Since I've been listening to you, I think that lineup analysis you've been doing is really important to pay attention to, and appreciate you doing that, because that's not even. I know that probably takes some work. And I'm going to definitely sign up for the playoffs when I get my credit card because it's fraud, so I'm going to make sure I'm locked in for that. But that lineup stuff's important because these are do or die games. And if you've been watching the games and listening to what these guys have been saying, the OKC Thunder are looking at this like the playoffs. Like both him and Shea referred to this in their post-game review. Like he's like, this is our first playoff experience. These dudes are taking it very serious. And their best lineup has Giddey, Shea, Dort, and Jalen Williams out there the entire time. These are young guys. They don't need to sit. They all played 40 minutes last game. They will probably play 40 tonight if they need to. And Giddey, 40 minutes in the game, I can't see him not getting to 8 assists. He gets there about 50% of the time when his minutes go over 36 or 37. He's basically their de facto point guard. We know Shea's not that true point guard. He's more of a scoring guard. That's who he is. And Giddey's more of the facilitator. And I do think they'll be up at him, but I think he's got the ability to to get there with his assists. So I took his 8 assists at plus 140. I really love the number there. Jimmy Butler over 26.5 points. I locked that in as soon as the line dropped, just because I watched what the Bulls did, and I was listening to Stephen. He basically said what I was thinking when I locked it in. If the Bulls try and guard Jimmy Butler the way they guarded Pascal Siakam, he's going to be at 30 by the third quarter. Maybe they'll switch it up. I don't know, but there's no chance they can guard Jimmy Butler the way they guarded Pascal Siakam and not get destroyed. Also, I don't suspect Jimmy Butler is going to miss 8 free throws. Yes, I'm still a bit upset about that. Nonsense. I don't think Jimmy Butler is going to be missing free throws. So he's going to live at the line. Anybody who watched the game against the Hawks, he got whatever he wanted, just for whatever reason. These shots were falling. The guy was airballing layups. It was a very weird Jimmy Butler game. I do not expect it again. The PRA is also another route you could go with him. I think it was set at 40. I do think Jimmy shows up tonight. So I took his 26.5 when it opened. I think it opened at minus 110. Open the books. Yeah, I opened up minus 110. Minus 103 is what I got at. And then my last play you spoke about, because I was talking about this at the note over, is Ant Edwards over 2.5 stocks. One of our Canadian books over here, we got it at plus 105, which was the best number I found. And I was like, all right, at that number, I'm taking it.
Nice.
The guy's he's been unbelievable on defense, like 4-4, 3-1, 2-2. He's just been ridiculous. And if you watch the game, which I think a lot of us do, he was up in LeBron. Listen, even if he's not 100% and it's affecting his shot, he's taken it upon himself to be the best defensive player on that team. It was very impressive to watch him guard LeBron. He took that very personally. Even when he went up and he was contesting every shot, the guy is locked in defensively right now. So when I saw that line, I just was like, all right, let's go with it, because he seems to be taking the defensive end as serious as his offense, knowing he's not 100% on offense, so how can he help the team? I'm a big fan of Ant as well. I really like seeing players like him who they're a bit braggadocious, they're a bit like cocky and in your face, but then they show up and they show it. And they say things like, I'm going to play every night. Like, I love players like him. Him and Jimmy are very similar. So, yeah, I took his over 2.5 stocks at plus 105. And, those are my plays. I'm also tailing you on the boost stuff because, just 10.5 just makes sense.
Yeah, we got to go back to the well, Cam. Like I said, potential ladder spot if anybody wants to do it. But with a total this low, I think this is the lowest total we've seen all season. It just screams rebounds to me. A lot of missed shots. We already talked about the Heat, shooting a lot of threes. So I like that look a lot, Cam. And let's cash, man. You got a lot of great looks tonight. A lot of great looks, Cam. I hope you cash and go undefeated tonight, bro.
When you get time to do some research, you dive deep. But I hope you guys have a good playing, and we go into the playoffs with some money.
Absolutely, that's the goal, man. That's definitely the goal. Best of luck to you, Cam. Frag, you up next, then Dream, and then DJ Fresco. I know you was asking Ali, you was asking in the chat about how to join. So we got a YouTube member that's never been in this space before that's about to get a chance to kind of share a question or a look that he got for the night. I'm gonna get you up in a second, DJ Fresco. But Frag, you first, and then Dream. What's up, Frag?
Yo, Chris, what's going on, bro?
I'm good, man. How about yourself? How you doing today?
Man, call it, man. Just another day, man. So I got a couple ones here today. Quick recap. Last time I was up here, I gave Beasley 7.5. That lost. And then Bogdanovich 10.5, and then Sadiq Bey 9.5. Those two came through for me. So 2 in 1 day. Last time I came up here, looking to build on that. So I got two sneaky looks in the Timberwolves game. Both half unit drawings. First, what one's gonna be? It's gonna be Sarge, man. I'm taking his under half a 3, man. I just don't see this guy making a 3. I'm not gonna lie. The minutes is not there. I just don't see it. They're running a small rotation. They're running 5 guys, 40 minutes. I don't got him making a 3 today. Maybe with Gobert playing, it might kill me. But yeah, I don't got him making a 3. I think he played like 11 minutes last game. Maybe the Bigs get in foul trouble with Cat, but I'm gonna take my chances with that. I don't think he makes a 3. And then the other guy too, Isaiah Joe. I'm taking his under 1.5 threes, man. His minutes has not been there either. And with Timberwolves being locked in defensively, anytime this guy gets the ball, they're blitzing him. This guy's getting blitzed. They're not letting him shoot. They're making him put the ball on the court. So those are two drunks I like. Even against the Pelicans when I was watching the game, anytime Isaiah Joe caught the ball, he was getting blitzed. They wouldn't, they're not giving him any, space to shoot. They want him to drive. And I think they'll be locked in defensively on those two guys. And they're just not playing enough minutes for me. I think they played like a combined 30 minutes. So I'll take my chances with those two guys not making any threes today.
Okay. Frank said it's going to be some 3-point defense tonight for the Timberwolves, specifically in Minnesota in this game. And I couldn't talk you off, Frank. I think that the one thing that you said, Frank, I was doing a propcast with my guy Munov earlier, and one thing that you said that kind of sparked what I was talking about is I think a good time to kind of fade these players in the playoffs. You want to fade the ones that have little experience, and you want to fade them specifically on the road. I think it'll be profitable long term. I talked about Keegan Murray, right? I know he's at home. And if Keegan Murray I played his under 18.5 rebounds plus points. And I know Golden State hasn't been good on the road, but I think the lights might be a little bit too big for him. I could also see him getting subbed out if Steve Kerr tries to pick on him on the defensive end, and they probably bring in a guy like Walker Kessler Edwards to kind of take up some of his minutes. And if it doesn't hit, I'll just play it in game 3 when he has to go to Golden State, right? So I like that look a lot, Fred. Young guys on the road, not so much Sarge, but Isaiah Joe definitely. And we know he's a flamethrower, so fading him can be scary, but fading Keegan Murray at home after he didn't hit all these threes, in his first season can also be scary. So I like the I won't call it sneaky, Frank. I'll call it a contrarian look, bro. I like the contrarian look of fading both of those guys tonight. I hope you catch both of them.
Yeah, the Sarge string is just like they got it. The funny thing about the prop is like they got his threes listed, but they don't got his points listed. So I'm thinking like I feel like one of them I'm thinking both gonna hit, but I think I'm probably gonna go 1-on-1. I feel like maybe Sarge is gonna hit one just on some like fluky shit, honestly. But I'm gonna take my chances with it. Both half units, but I think Isaiah Joe. That's probably my more confident one, but just the lack of minutes and then just him getting blitzed anytime he touches the ball.
Yeah, getting the ball out of his hands for sure. Frag, I know you up. You always got a question for me, bro. I got a question for you. You the cat whisperer, man. What we doing tonight, man? I just knew we had a cat, like a rebounds plus assists, a point. Like we off cat tonight. What we doing, Frag?
Thing about Cat, man, Mr. Cat Daddy, man. This is a tough one for me because as far as with Gobert coming back in, it's just they run a lot of like high-low action with Rudy, so like Rudy's gonna be in the paint, and then Big Cat's gonna be, if anything, I would maybe look at his threes maybe because he's gonna be on the perimeter a lot. It's just when Rudy's there, he just makes it ugly, man. I hate when the guy's just out there. If Rudy didn't play, I would have hammered Cat's points. I would have taken a full unit. I've been only giving out half a unit drunks here lately because it's just managing bankroll and stuff. But yeah, man, with Rudy in the game, it's just he just be mucking it up, man. So maybe his threes, maybe even like you said, his assists, because he's gonna get a couple of them dump downs to Rudy. If Rudy can just finish it, which he should. It's easy high-low action. I've seen him run it. That's one thing you could do with Rudy, like for him to be, like consistent, like getting good, scoring chances. So yeah, that's probably my read on Cat. If maybe he has like a low output in the first quarter, maybe like a live line, you maybe get something under like 20. If he comes out kind of sluggish, maybe like maybe Torian Prince and Mike Conley and Ant get going in the beginning, and then maybe Cat cleans up in the fourth and the third. But nothing official on Cat.
Okay.
This line is actually at 4.5, which is right around his average. I was looking at that as well, but it's plus money. So that was the only play that I looked at where I was like, I'd be comfortable with Rudy playing. And that's with Rudy Gobert playing in the game. He averages around 4.8. But I really agree with Frank on everything, Cat, because I looked at him deeply and I couldn't find something that made me comfortable as long as Rudy was in the game.
Yeah, Rudy he just a big goofball, man. Honestly, I can't stand dude, but it is what it is, man.
That's a fact. That's a fact, Frank. So real quick update. Appreciate you, Easy Money in the chat, and appreciate Coop in the chat as well. I love that you guys all kind of keeping everybody keeping me on board, because if I wasn't doing the show, I'd be kind of locked in, but it's hard to kind of maneuver everything. I need a producer for sure. But it looks like the Heat will be starting that same starting five. So Bam, Jimmy, Tyler Hero, Max Strus, and Gabe Vincent. So no changes to the starting lineup. Rest of rotation looks like it'll probably be. I'm looking at the Heat beat writers. It looks like they're expecting Laurie, Caleb Martin, and then Zeller to be the main guys off the bench as well. And then we got a anticipated starting five that I talked about for the Chicago Bulls as well. So just wanted to kind of provide that update real quick.
You don't like Bam's props? My bad, Chris.
Nah, Frag. I can't. Bam too inconsistent for me. I want to put my money where, I feel like I know for sure. Now, he could, come out here, hit a bunch of threes and, go crazy. I think that's possible, but Bam just hasn't been consistent enough for me. I've never gotten on the show and said, oh my God, my favorite player today is Bam Adebayo. I can't wait for him to score this many points or get this many rebounds. He's not that guy for me, right? I remember last year in the playoffs when I think Jimmy might have gotten hurt or something happened with Jimmy. And they were in a do-or-die game, just got back home, and Bam went crazy in that game. We're like, okay, this is the Bam that we were, we knew, could come out here and play well, and this is what he can do. But I don't know, man. They just look disinterested to me, and I know that can kind of change from game to game. But I don't know, Fred. I can't put my money on them. Like I can't put my heart on. If I place that bet, or let's just say I tell somebody, and I was like, at the end of the day, it don't hit. I'm like, did I really put my money on Bam to try to make more money tonight? Like, I just can't live with myself doing that. Could he go over his numbers? Absolutely. But could he fall short again? And just want to, what better place to start your vacation, Frag, than already being in Miami, Like,
I can't.
Yeah.
He giving me Porzingis vibes.
Yeah, I can't. He could go out there and go crazy tonight, Fred, but I can't bet on it. Said call him Bam Simmons, and
that's
that is bad. That is real bad. That's really disrespectful. But I appreciate you, Frag, man. Definitely brought up somebody that we hadn't thought about. Let me kick it to Dream real quick, and DJ Fresco, you up next, man. What up, Dream? I know Dream got some looks for us today. What's going on, my guy?
Unbelievable, the Bam slander.
It's wild out here, man.
Right? But I 1,000,000% agree. That's why it is, as much as I love it, I wasn't even gonna get this shit out until y'all just said that. So I'm like, nah, I gotta give it out now. It's a half unit play. If y'all want to get on Bam PRA with me, 32.5 is 31.5 at DraftKings, juiced -130. But if you can get 32.5 -105, I believe at FanDuel right now. Honestly, I just can't get a read on these playing games. Only play I had, speaking of a wrap up or a recap, only play I had so far on these play-ins was Trae Young under 25. I love the look. He went over with like 10 seconds left on free throws, broke my heart. But I can't really get a feel for this. But I love Bam tonight. He played awful game one. He was terrible game one. He's an all-star. I just think he's gonna come out, and Vooch is barbecue chicken. Y'all talk about Bam. I love the Vooch rebounds. I tell that. I'm listening to y'all. I'm telling y'all shit because I don't have none. I'm on Vooch. I'm like, oh, bro said he might sprinkle the ladder. Fuck it, I'm gonna beat him to it. Like, so I ain't trying to front on Vooch, but he barbecue chicken. Bam tonight. I see like 22. 9 or 10, 3 or 4 assists like that for Bam. I just think he's gonna go over that 32.5, 31.5, whatever. I played the 32.5. So for me, just a half unit play. So I ain't even want to post it. I'd rather just post some quarter unit lays. And that's what I did. But what time are you doing the show tomorrow? Because I got plays for tomorrow already on my page. I love them, and I don't know if I could make the show, so I was gonna get those out.
Yeah, hey, you can, Jay. I was gonna address that at the end. So tomorrow morning, so this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna probably make a show tonight for the members only, so they can get the looks that I like for tomorrow early, and then that video released tomorrow. But as far as doing a show, if y'all want to wake up early with me, I can do a show. I know the first game starts early. And my son actually has soccer tomorrow, so it won't interfere with the games, but it does interfere with me doing a show before the game because the soccer starts at 11. So by the time I get back home, it's probably gonna be closer to 1, which is when the games actually start. So if you got something you want to share today, Dream, by all means, my brother, go ahead. The floor is yours.
All right, and I should have some free time in the morning, so I'll probably be able to rock with you.
Okay.
But yeah, I'll get these out real quick. So, Royce O'Neal, yeah, over his 7.5 rebounds and assists. Royce O'Neal over 2.5 assists, and Royce O'Neal over 4.5 rebounds. All three separate bets. As far as the rebound and assists, he's gone over this line 8 of his last 10, and 2 of his last 3 games. In 2 of his last 3 games versus Philly this season, but 8 of his last 10 regular season games he's gone over this line. As far as the assist line, he's gone over that. 6 of the last 6 games, 3 of his last 3 games against Philly this year. They only played Philly this year. He covered the line. Well, he got 3 assists every game versus Philly this year. In one of them games, he only played 17 minutes. And he still covered his assist line. And then his rebound line, 4.5. He's covered this his last 3 games. He's covered it 6 of his last 10 and 11 of his last 15. How the hell did I come across these trends with Royce O'Neal? I actually thought Dorian Finney-Smith rebounds were sweet. So as I was capping Dorian Finney-Smith, I'm like, okay, well, damn, who was the ones that's getting rebounds from Bo? Because his line should be 5.5. And then I stumbled upon Royce O'Neal. So, love it. I do see the total is low, 214. So maybe that's why I was thinking, well, maybe that's why the props is low. But nah, Mikal Bridges' points is still normal, a bit higher than normal. It's like 26.5. You got Embiid at damn 35. So it's not like these props have been adjusted to the total. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So for whatever reason, the prop's still the same. So I'm on it. I'm on Royce O'Neal. I ain't doing no double. Well, you know what? I'm lying. I'm gonna sprinkle double for like a baby, like literally like a blunt money bet, like $5. But I did sprinkle his 6 assists. And his actually I couldn't even get 6 assists. I sprinkled his 5 assists, like 425 at DraftKings, and his 8 rebounds is like maybe like 400 something like that. So yeah, and my last play that I'm gonna give out today, Onyeka Okongwu, my guy. It's simple analysis. His line is 14.5. He's literally gone over this line 15 of the last 16 games. His line is generally 17.5, 16.5, maybe even 18.5. So they lowered it for the playoffs. I don't see his minutes decreasing. They didn't decrease in the playing game. I don't see them decreasing against Boston. He's gone over this line 2 or 3 games versus Boston. He just went over it last game. Now that's an anomaly because I believe he started last game, but he only played 26 minutes. His average is 20 minutes a game, and that's what he played last game against Miami. So if he's going to get his normal minutes, then I'll take a discount. And play a line that he's gone over 15 of the last 16 games. So that's what I'm on. Onyeka Okongwu from Atlanta. And Royce O'Neal, the ugly stats. Rebounds and assists.
Yeah, them the ones that's going to be cash and drain the rebounds and assists because these points probably going to be, they're going to be a little tax, man. We're going to play a premium and they're going to be super sharp. Yeah, I think even with Giddey being at 32 against the Pelicans, 32.5, he finished right at 32. So that, you know, that sucks if you played something that high and got that close and then you lost. And that's what kind of does it for me when I'm like, I chill on a number that high. Real quick, Dream, what was the number on Okongwu again? 14.5. And that's rebounds and points? Points plus rebounds. Okay. So Dream got some early looks for y'all. Hope everybody got their pen and paper out. He likes Royce O'Neal, rebounds and assists, and then those sprinkles that he talked about for those individual lines as well. Love those, Dream. Love those, bro. Let's see. So tomorrow, if I do a show, it'll probably be like early. Y'all probably won't even be up. A lot of people probably won't be up, but it'll probably be like I could do a show like 9:30. If I do a show, it'll be at like 9:30. That way, it give me enough time to kind of go through everything. It's a few games tomorrow. I got a couple looks that I locked in already as well. Like I said, I'll make a quick video and then give them out tomorrow as well for people who want to join. You can join to get them early. If not, you can get them tomorrow. Always going to give out the content for free. But appreciate Dream, appreciate Cam, appreciate Frag as well. And I want to kick it to Fresco. Fresco, I know you've been waiting for a minute, man. What's going on? How you doing?
What up? Y'all can hear me?
Yeah, you good? What's going on?
Shit, not much. Cooling, bro. Cooling, man. I wanted to know what do you all think of the series odds, man? Like nobody really brought up nothing about that. I like to play the long ball game. Pause. I like to play that. What do y'all think about? Hold on, let me go ahead and run it down to y'all before I even did because I already got a parlay going, like a 6-team. I got Philly and they minus 800 to win the series against Brooklyn. I got Boston, they minus 1,000 to win the series against Atlanta. I got the Knicks plus 172 against Cleveland. I got Golden State minus 295. I got the Lakers plus 108, and I got the Clippers plus 385. $50 on that win you 2 racks. So I'm saying it's not a bad deal.
Hey, bro, $50 on that should win you $2 million if you got the Clippers in there to beat the Suns, and you got my Lakers in there to beat the Grizzlies. Hey, Fresco, look, this is what I always tell everybody, man. I don't clown nobody. I'm just kidding. I'm just messing with you. But I don't really do a lot of parlays, and if you want to sprinkle on something like that, if $50 is half a unit or a quarter unit for you, then by all means, my brother, you do what you do.
I'm gonna tell y'all like this. This is not me bragging. I used to gamble before it was illegal. I used to do it illegally. My Cash App shut down because of it. I was gambling. I was doing it old school with the old heads. You go in there, you write your picks down, and you only could do like 4 teams at a time. I was doing it like that. My first trip to Vegas, I won about 8 racks off a 18 parlay. That's how I play. That's all I do. My last bet I took, I had a 17er, and I won like $500 off of $5 on a 17 parlay with scores and shit. So that's how I play. I play like that, But for the most part, I just wanted to see your opinion on those series prices, man, because I think it's some value over there, bro. I really think it's some value, and I really think you should go hard on that Knicks and Cleveland series too, bro, because I think the Knicks gonna take it, bro. As a matter of fact, I'm even close to saying the Knicks can take out the Bucks in the 7-game series. I'm that close to saying
okay, Fresco, you got the hot takes. Well, okay, so what you got to do is you got to come back because I do these shows every single day, 5:30 Eastern time, and I do a morning show as well, but the morning show is just me. 5:30, I kind of open it up to everybody, let the community kind of chime in, and we come together collectively just to kind of cash. So I mean, if it works for you, my brother, I always say, go with your gut.
I don't mean to cut you off. It's always the motherfuckers you think that's not gonna do it, that's gonna do it. Like Bam Adebayo, y'all was saying, man, I slam Bam Adebayo.
He going crazy tonight, ain't it?
I think more so. Really, I'll slam 30 with the Jimmy Butler because he gonna go off, and then I'll slam 20-something points with Kyle Lowry. I didn't see him on FanDuel, but man, I'll slam the Heat. I'll go crazy with the Heat tonight, for real.
Okay, so you playing them? Do you play them straight? Like, would you just lay the 5.5 and think that they're gonna win?
I got the Heat. I can't find Kyle Lowry on FanDuel. I don't know why, but I got the Heat. I got Jimmy Butler, the Heat money line, of course. Jimmy Butler 30+ points, and I got Minnesota money line, and I got Anthony Edwards 25 or more points.
And what that get you? What the payout on that?
Hold on, let me let you know. Hold on, I think it's like 700 something. You put 100 down, you win like 500.
So 5-1 odds. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So plus 500.
Yeah,
okay.
That's what I got.
Hey man, I hope you can. I ain't against you or none of that. I ain't even take the. I think the Bulls cover the game, and I think they could potentially win. But what I played was the plus 5.5, so we all can still win.
Who y'all think taking it all? Who y'all think
winning the whole entire thing?
Like who y'all think out of all these teams, like the Clippers or the Suns, or who y'all got?
As far as like this individual series?
No, you're talking about the whole thing.
You mean like winning who won the championship?
Yeah, my bad. The whole thing.
Okay.
Yeah, my bad.
The whole thing? I don't know. I think from my estimation, Fresco, I want to say Boston got a chance to run it back. I think Boston got a bad taste in their mouth from last year. I like the additions that they brought in. But I'll say this. The reason why I don't play a lot of series price stuff is because injuries happen, right? Like we saw Kevin Durant come back he didn't even make it to the game. The official's horn hadn't even sounded yet. He done slipped on some water and bust his ass. You know what I mean? So that's why I don't get into that. You know, Julius Randle comes back, re-aggravates that ankle injury, and he misses the whole entire season because Tibbs brings him back too fast. You know what I mean? And then you out back on your whole series price. You know what I mean? So that's why I say it again.
Shit, if he get hurt, I'm gonna put it. I still got confidence in the Knicks. Look, my man, bro, the Knicks are coming. I'm gonna tell you who else coming too. Them damn Clippers. See, everybody say, "Oh, KD this, KD that." The Clippers get past the Suns, they gonna win the whole fucking thing. They're gonna win the whole fucking thing. Clippers.
Okay, you like the Clippers? You from LA?
Nah, I used to live out in LA for a while. I'm from Louisiana. I'm in Baton Rouge.
Okay. I was just checking. I thought you might have been a homer, but hey, if you strong on it, you stand on it, put something on it. You know what I mean? Like, I hope you cash it. I ain't bet against you, so I hope you cash it, my brother.
I'm gonna watch what they do. I ain't take them yet. I'm gonna watch what they do. Right now, the odds for them to win is high as hell. But if they win 1 or 2 games, some odds gonna go down. But the Clippers, it's either the Clippers or the Suns for the whole thing to me. The Lakers don't have enough. Denver definitely ain't gonna do it. Milwaukee, they all right, but once you take Giannis out the game, they whole shit fucked up. So in Philly just don't have enough. Philly don't have enough.
I agree with you on a lot of that, Fresco. We're gonna have to see. Like I said, I like to see what's right in front of me on my plate. You know what I mean? I don't want to worry about what I'm grocery shopping for next week. I like to see what I'm eating tonight and pick apart that.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, okay.
I respect it though. Go ahead, Dream.
Yeah, I'm Puff. I'm the producer of the show. It's only a 5-minute time limit, my guy.
My bad.
Hey, Fresco, we gonna come back to all of these, bro. Like, just tap back in with me on these days when these games play. Just tap back in with me at 5:30. I'll definitely have you back up again, and we can talk about it some more, my brother.
Shit, yeah. All right, that's a bet.
And best of luck on everything you play tonight too, man.
Shit, yeah. Y'all too. Y'all boys enjoy the game and hope y'all win, man.
Yes, sir. That's what we trying to do, man. I'm gonna kick it back to Frag real quick and then kick it to Rob, and we're gonna get up out of here because the game's about to start in about 16, 17 minutes. What up, Frag?
Yeah, let what's his name go? I'll just go. I got something quick. Just he's been waiting. I'll let him go.
Okay, what up, Rob? Kick it to you real quick, and then kick it back to Frag.
Oh, yo, hey, good looking. What's up, Chris?
How you, bro?
I'm good, bro. I just got one pick, maybe 2, and a question.
What's up?
So I'm gonna start with my pick first. So I like Mike Conley over his assists. I mean, I'm pretty sure you probably went over all this yesterday, but I bet, so I really didn't watch the show yesterday. And I want to take his threes, but I mean, I want to hear somebody give me some analysis on that. So what about his threes? You like that?
the reason why I wouldn't take his threes tonight, and I'm not talking you off of it, Rob, because it could definitely catch. Yeah, he's not playing the Lakers, bro. When I know he gonna make his threes is when he play against my Lakers, bro. He is a Laker killer, dog. He is a Laker killer. I think 5 threes. They didn't even have 5 listed the other day, but I think 4.5, 3.5 was plus 370. If anybody got there all the way up on the ladder, like I said, it wasn't an official play, but Conley kills the Lakers, bro. So typically, you have a great game like that, and you kind of come back down to earth. I'm not sure if he's gonna be needed, right? I talked about Mike Conley needing to make those threes against the Lakers, specifically because you got AD down there to kind of protect the rim. So it's hard to score on the Lakers in the paint. They don't give up a lot of points in the paint, but from that 3-point line, we could be vulnerable, especially if you get people in the you get the right people in the pick and roll, right? And Mike Conley will come in and just pull up in your face. So when you're playing against the Thunder, you got to look at, right? Like what is their defense against the 3-point line against, point guards, right? How many attempts are they giving up? What is Mike Conley, season average against them? I know that he kills us because I've been watching it for years since I, didn't have even a mustache. He's been killing us, it feels like. So, I would just kind of look at all that. I don't think that he necessarily needs to go crazy tonight, Rob, just because they have a much much more size, like on the interior, right? Like they can score through the paint. And you heard Chris Finch, if you listen to the interviews, Chris Finch said they would play to their strengths, and I think their strengths does lie, like in the paint. So maybe it's some kickouts for threes, but I don't feel confident enough. Didn't study it enough to take the over. Not gonna talk you off of it though, Rob.
Yeah, no, and then I mean, I did look at it like his last couple of games at home. He definitely didn't go over the number like that. So that's why I was like, I was questionable on that one.
Right.
But my last question that I had for you was the Patrick Williams over his points.
Oh, running it back with Patrick Williams.
Yeah, I definitely followed you on that one, and I was thinking about what's up with tonight.
Yeah, hey, bro, I can't talk you off of Patrick Williams, Rob. I didn't play it, but it's same situation, right? I mean, everything is very, very similar tonight. Low total, do or die game. He's gonna be on the floor again. I talked about it last game, him guarding Siakam, which he really wasn't even on Siakam that much, surprisingly enough. But he'll be out there tonight because he's gonna have to guard Jimmy Butler. He also, same analysis, right? He also won't have to necessarily, be out there. He also just won't be the focal part of the defense as far as they're not keying in on stopping, a guy like Patrick Williams. You're trying to slow down DeRozan and Levine, right? So he gonna get the looks. I know he shot 3 for 10 from the field. If he get the 10 attempts, the 8 attempts, the 9 attempts again, I definitely see him going over the number. They only put it up 1 point, and he went over by 3 and 2 in the last game. So I couldn't talk you off, Rob. I just didn't play it. Like I said, I kind of going to go light on the player props today, so I just played Vooch to go over his rebounds. But I couldn't talk you off, bro. I do like the look a lot.
I mean, I was leaning for both of those looks. I was leaning to both of the ways you explained it. So
no, that's a fact. That's a fact. It could definitely catch. I just didn't play it, Rob. But I do like it, man. I like it a lot. And I think I saw that plus money at 8.5 earlier too. But like I said, I just didn't play it. He could definitely get there though. He gonna get the shots, man.
It definitely went down.
Yeah.
Yeah, I appreciate that, Chris, man. I hope you feel better too, bro.
Hey, appreciate you, man. As long as I stay in the house and out of that goddamn pollen outside, I'll be all right, man. I appreciate you though, Rob. Let's get some cash tonight, man. Let's cash tonight. Fred, kicking it back to you, and then we jumping up off it, man. Game about to be on. I ain't realized I've been on here for an hour and a half. What up, Fred?
Yeah, I had stepped out. You said you're doing a space or no for tomorrow?
Yeah. If I do a show in the morning, I'll make it a space so everybody can kind of chime in too. Like I said, my YouTube video will be out for my members tonight. But if I do a show, then I'll release the video tomorrow for everybody. Early looks just for the for the members. But then I'll do a show tomorrow morning as well. Probably like 9:30 because realistically I got to leave probably about 10:15. So it'll be like a 40-45 minute show tomorrow. Kind of going over some looks.
Okay, man. I appreciate you, man. Thanks.
Absolutely. My guy Frag. Appreciate all the listeners, man. Appreciate all the speakers and the participators as well. My producer in the back, Dream, Cam, Frag, Rob, everybody who came up and kind of shared a look tonight, man. Gave out some analysis and did their homework, man. Everybody contributes to the show. We all just trying to cash, man. We all trying to eat, and that's always going to be the goal and the mission here. Official plays for me. I did add the Timberwolves riding with my guy. Well, not even riding with him because I liked it as well, but we on it together. Why am I drawing a blank? LJ from H-Town. First half for the Timberwolves. I'm on that as well. I played the -3 since the show started. Bulls plus 5.5 for me. Vucevic over the 10.5 rebounds. And Timberwolves full game. I laid the 4.5 and I laid the 5 on another book as well. Those are the top looks for me, man. Plays that didn't make the show that I really do like. I guess my strongest leans would be Patrick Williams to go over the 8.5, like Rob just mentioned. I also like the steals plus blocks that we talked about, specifically with Anthony Edwards. I think looking at slow-mo Kyle Anderson could be good as well. And I stayed off of Cat. I stayed off of Rudy Gobert because I don't know if Rudy Gobert is actually going to play in this game or not. So I know that the first game is about to start in just a few minutes. So enjoy the games tonight, man. Like I said, if you guys want to tap in with me tomorrow, I will be on probably about 9:30 a.m. Eastern time. If anybody want to jump into the space, also doing a night show for the members as well. But yeah, come through, tap in with me. Best of luck to all your action for tonight, man. Like I said, enjoy the games, man. Playoff basketball is good basketball. Play in basketball when somebody got to go home is also really good basketball, man. I look forward to these games. I'm about to take a quick shower and catch all the games, man. Best of luck to you guys tonight. I'm out.